So let me also throw this before I bring him up. So what do you understand by quantum leap? Anybody wants to um, help out with that? What do you understand by quantum leap? Please call other people to come on board. Quantum leap.
Yeah, hello, sir. Israel. Can I go on? Yeah, hello. Wow, I can't hear you. Wow. So, what I understand by quantum leap is just like the word goes, going going.
Yeah, Israel, I can hear you.
Okay, so
I can hear you clearly.
going a step
Can you hear
that
me?
is. Yes, I can hear you clearly. So quantum leap is taking a jump that is bigger than you. Let me just put it that way. Taking a step that is quite
Okay.
unimaginably
Okay.
bigger than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I understand by the word quantum leap.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. Who else wants to give an attempt? Thank you, Israel. Okay. All right. So who else wants to give another attempt? Quantum leap quickly. I'm waiting. Okay, if you don't want to, still trying to get horrible. Oh, okay. So someone said they can hear you clearly. All right. So who's going to give an attempt? I'm sure this is not the first time we had this step unimaginably bigger than you. Thank you. Um, taking a step unimaginable bigger than you. Okay, so can we get more definition of what a quantum leap is? Because the reality is that 2020 is the gate to the new decade. What will happen this year will be the bedrock, will be the foundation of other things that will happen for the better part of the decade. And I think that in spite and despite the setbacks that has happened, the second half of the year should be a time where we should release our faith for phenomenal things to happen. Release our faith for outstanding. Okay, okay, it's coming now. Outstanding things to happen. Be complacent. It's a time to be able to say, okay, so all of this, I tried it, all of this in my own power, but somehow it didn't work out. But I'm going to trust God. I'm going to release my faith so that I can take quantum leaps to cover up for the years or the months that I have lost resources, lost time uh, because of the pandemic. Okay, someone else says is walking on water based on divine instructions. Wow, amazing, amazing. In one of the sessions, I also had mentioned to us that we're in a time where several very phenomenal speakers I respect who have a very good grasp of the secular and the sacred had said to me privately, and application used to be on the front burner, but we're stepping into a time where revelation is important. And going to church, I'm talking about having a walking, talking relationship. So that if God gives you an instruction and you phenomenal things happen. And because our time is without wasting time. So, Mr. Can you please off your mic and turn on your video also so that we can see your face? Okay. So I'm going to bring him up just in a few minutes. Once is okay. Okay, so it's here. All right. Thank you so much, Pastor Bello, for honoring our invitation this evening. I was jokingly saying before you came about how many years ago you were a very exceptional worker, being the head of technical, how that passion, that doggedness, that energy has made you face life in very phenomenal ways that has ushered you into several quantum leaps. And because I don't want to take so much of the time today, so mentoring group, can you please make welcome this beautiful evening Pastor Yomi Bello, Associate Pastor with the City of David Church Triumphant Assembly, the General Manager of Bovas Oil and Gas. Please make him feel welcome. The floor is yours, sir. You need to unmute your mic.
Good evening, everybody. And it's my pleasure to be here on this platform this night. I'm sure that a lot of people that are listening now, they have heard several other people speak to them about what we are about to discuss tonight. I think what is majorly important for us is to start taking decisive steps. Most people have had so much, but they have done so little with what they have had. I think tonight, one of the things that you should make up your mind to do is that after today, that you will go and do something. Not just to hear and make some jottings, but to be very precise and practical in your steps, in your approach, to getting to where you are going. I pray that the time we are going to spend tonight, God will give both of us, all of us, understanding, and we'll be better people at the end of the day. Now, let me start from where I met Pastor Tunji, where he was talking about this season we are in the world. Is a season that caught everybody unawares. Everybody. Nobody, including everyone who had seen something, that maybe something was going to happen or whatever, it still caught everybody unawares. Nobody prepared for it. Nobody planned for it. Otherwise, probably you will not be where you are today. Everybody will have escaped to a safer place or prepared enough food, prepare whatever, and develop certain coping mechanisms. So that tells us that the floor now is for the men. Things are not for like before anymore. And we don't know what changes will happen later. But the truth is that the floor now is not for boys, it's for men. The people who are ready to take their destiny by their hands. The people who are ready to face their life and face it well. Now, because I said to somebody at the beginning of all this pandemic, I looked at the trend at which nations were given palliatives, communities were given palliatives, churches were given palliatives, and I said, the way I'm looking at this thing, it will not last. Manna is not for forever. Free food cannot continue. Stimulus packages, free bonuses here and there cannot be forever. At a point, United States spent around $300 or something. I think that was for the first one, stimulus package, working on the second one. And I look at it, If everybody you keep dipping hands in the same pocket, something is not coming in, but something is always going out. You get to a point that nothing will come out again. So now everybody has got to go back to the drawing board and look for how to make his or her life better. And you see, incidentally, men take the front role. That because the truth is this, except there are certain breakthroughs for men in homes or whatever, the breakthrough may not be very visible. If I respect the female gender and I appreciate what they are doing and what God is using them for. See, but if you see a family that is the wife that is taking the upper hand, that is doing everything, the wife will pay school fees of the children, the wife will buy food in the market and come back to cook it for everybody to eat. Is the wife that will pay house rent. Is the wife that will maintain the car. Is the wife that will buy clothes for the children and even for the man. Something is wrong. You know, that man too, the woman that is doing all that, will just at a point, she may not even understand the reason why she's crying. You will just see one day she'll just burst into tears. Now, just because the position that God put her is not what you are using her for. You don't use a tire that is meant for a car, for a truck. The tire will soon burst. Now, because the pressure that she's meant to carry is not what she's carrying. So every man, we need to sit up and we need to, develop certain, strategies on how to cope and to live well at this time. Incidentally, whether you want to do certain things or not, there are some things that the bills cannot stop. If you are not paying school fees now, you are paying for data. Your money will go to somewhere, whichever way. You have to buy more snacks at home for children to live because now they are more at home than before. So whichever way, your spending may not naturally go down. So you need to stand up and wake up. And you see, at this time, people are doing so much. A lot of people are already doing so much, but it is just difficult for them to maintain certain quantum leaps without strength for it. What faith does is that it gives strength for what we believe, for what we want to do. A lot of people have so many things on paper, but there is no faith in them. Word was spoken to them, just like the Bible says, but the word did not mix with faith in their heart. So when they heard it, they just heard, but they could not move beyond the level of hearing. See, a lot of people have been informed on different platforms at this period. See, but the power to become is in the faith realm. And that's why, you cannot afford to live your life carelessly at this period. Now, because something has to give strength to what you have put on paper. It's a lot of faith now to say, I want to do this year. You see, as simple as it is now to get married, it's so easy now to get married because if you don't have so much, you just turn it to Zoom. So you do Zoom marriage. See, but as simple as it is, it takes a lot of faith for that wedding to still hold. Now, because somebody in the family will tell you that we have not done this kind of thing before. I'm not following you. We have to go to church and dance. We have to sign everything. We have to do this. I cannot go and say you should go ahead with the wedding because my uncle has not come. That's my brother. That's my this. And all the family members must gather because that is the tradition. So whichever way you see that anything you want to do, as simple as you might think it looks like, if faith is not involved, it is nothing. You see, there is, if you see some people that are achieving very high, you see, ask them, what is fueling you? Something is fueling them. As fuel is to a car, that is how faith is to a believer. The just shall live by faith. The just will succeed by faith. The just will have a quantum leap by faith. The just will have a breakthrough by faith. The just will achieve greatness by faith. So you cannot put your faith aside at this time. You cannot. It's something that you have to carry all the way. Now, because the same thing you are looking at, a lot of people are looking at it at the same time. So you have to build up faith to develop capacity, even confidence to meet people and say, I want to do this for you, is a level of faith. So that direction we'll be looking at, this evening. It's so important that the subject of faith, we cannot, overthought. We cannot talk about it too much. There is no overdose of it, because the more of it you hear, I listened to, Gloria and Kenneth Copeland very recently, and they were talking about certain practices. And I see that, faith in every nation is the same and delivers the same result. So they mentioned certain things where they were teaching, and when I listened to them, what they were talking about is actually contrary to the natural process that they use in the country that they belong. See, what they are saying, that they have lived for this number of years by this same faith. And if you believe, you will have the same result. So when I listen to them say that on a national broadcast, you wonder, what? You see, but they have testimonies for it. They have results for it. So it's the same way for anyone. It is whatever be it unto you according to your faith. We all know that faith begins from where the will of God is known. Some people still don't believe now that they should be great, or they should be very great. Their mind is that, I don't want anybody's trouble. Just let me be able to afford my bills. I'm fine. See, but what is the essence of affording your own bills? And you are down today, you are up tomorrow. And you cannot influence other people around you positively. Nobody is benefiting. Nobody is blessing God for your life. So that tells you that you need more faith. What you have is not enough. So faith begins when the will of God is known. The first thing is that it is the will of God for us to prosper. It is the will of God for us to achieve greatness. It is the will of God for us to take the lead. Somebody is asking. So if it's the will of God for somebody to take the lead, who takes the second? Whoever. The person that did not know as much as you know. That one takes the back seat. Some people, when you say certain things, are like, oh, so if everybody is Dangote, then who will be Dangote's driver? It's a choice. If everybody is living in Ikoyi, then who is going to be the gate man? It's a choice. So if everybody begins to have great businesses, who is going to work for them? It's a choice. You need to make up your mind that this is what you want and this is where you are going. Now, you now begin to build your faith along that. You begin to take practical steps towards that. You see, but the thing has to start with you. You have to make up your mind that this is the kind of picture, this is the kind of life I want to live. It's very, very important. So that is where it starts from. Now, there is another dimension to it where you see a lot of people having so much faith that you wonder why things are not working. They are talking faith. You can hear them talk about it. You can see on their screen the kind of, maybe a car they want to buy, the kind of business they want to build. See, but you are not still seeing it working for them. There is a lot of difference. You see, James, he says that the proof that you have faith is your work. The proof that you want to be a great businessman is your work, the practical step we see you take. Now, it starts by believing in God that can happen. Faith, yeah. See, but that quantum steps is not going to end up on just praying alone. You have believed God. You have done every other thing that you are supposed to do. See, but that is just the beginning. It's the foundation. Nobody appreciates that foundation. See, if you are building and you have spent $1 billion, somebody built a gas station somewhere in Lekki, and when he was telling me about how much he spent to do the foundation, I think he spent like 400 million. Now, good. See, but nobody will appreciate that foundation. He was able to build what he wanted to build and serve the purpose. See, but it would have been worse compared to somebody who spent maybe 10 million to build the entire thing. People will see that one than the person who spent 400 million to do foundation. It's good. You cannot have a building without a foundation. To have a successful life, to have a quantum leap, you need faith. Because the person that, see, forget, there is nobody extraordinary anywhere. There is no person called extraordinary. That extra is the grace of God. We are all ordinary. And that's where the faith thing is very important. You see, but beyond that faith, you need to move on. And that movement is in taking practical steps. Practical steps. Practical steps. A lot of hard work. I've seen a lot of people that have, you know, when you check some people's diary, he's so rich, very rich diary. If you publish the book, a lot of people will buy it. See, but their life and the diary, they are just opposite. The diary is richer than what we are seeing outside in them. Just because the right thing to do, they have not done. Show me your faith by your work. So the person who believes for a great business is not just going to pray alone. He will sit down and find about it. Now begin to look for people who have been that same thing. I've seen someone who one day told me that many years ago, he said, by now you're supposed to be a consultant in something. I was like, you see, because I've not even learned enough. I've learned nothing. And that's the tragedy of so many people. They have not taken time to master the process enough, then they have launched out. One young guy came to my office one day, and while we were talking, he said he wanted he left where he was working. So, and he said that, okay, we just wanted to find out whether he can drop proposal so that he maybe can be auditing our account. When I look at him, of course, I didn't need to, I didn't say so much, I didn't talk so much. But you see, I looked at him that, no. You see, you should know levels per time. What audit work do you, one person, want to do? Look for smaller businesses. Look for smaller organizations that your input will show. Look for those who are just doing a little businesses now that you can begin to learn and audit their account from that process. You have not learned enough. You cannot do the job. You know, for somebody who left the university, you want to build a very great company, and you read civil engineering, and you are so more passionate. You want to be the Julius Berger of today. Fine, that's a good dream. You have prayed, you have done everything. See, but you will be mistaken. People think you can handle the project of a Julius Berger now. If they give it to you, the person who gave it to you will be sorry that he did it afterwards. That's because you have not developed capacity for it. You have not developed capacity for it. What you are supposed to do is to look for one single family who wants to build a house. And from there, you will learn the process of how to prepare quotation. You say, no, I've learned all that because I worked for a company 10 years and I was their director of quotation. No, that was the company. This is you now. See, the corporate effort that you enjoy in that bigger organization, you cannot expect to have it first on your own. So you need to develop capacity first and be able to handle projects. You move from somebody wants to build a shop to somebody wants to build a duplex to somebody wants to build this to somebody wants to build a shopping mall, and gradually like that. So when you now one day they said they want the federal government is looking for somebody who wants to build the ultra modern market, you know, in Nigeria, the first of its kind in Africa, you will have enough confidence. You see, the present generation, they think that everything hangs on the computer. Because he can use the software and make the drawings on paper. He thinks that is the same thing that will happen in real life. You have not known how to be duped by subcontractors. You have not learned the process, how they divert materials. You have not learned how to handle that. So you get to a point you cannot move on. And a lot of people will never even have a first opportunity because they didn't start from the first ladder, the first step on the ladder. They want to start from up. To have a quantum leap, you need to develop capacity. It's a process. It's a process. And you see, they don't give somebody that kind of capacity by praying. Prayer can only help you to facilitate it. But it's by learning, by doing the work, moving from one phase of it to another. You have not published a book of 20 pages before, and your dream is that you are writing a book, and that book is 1,000 pages. You may never publish it. You may never publish it. So you need to sit down and evaluate yourself. What is my knowledge base? What is the gap that I have? What if I want to go into this? Am I sure I can? We need to be truthful to ourselves and stop embarrassing ourselves. You know, some people, they just carry their proposal and they because it feels like you know a little about logistics. So you carry your proposal and all you want is that you want to handle logistics for Chevron or for Shell. Why don't you just start from somewhere? Not because at that level, you may not even be given any opportunity at all. And if you are given anyone by chance, you will mess it up because you have not developed capacity to that point. I've seen a lot of very excellent people. They know the job, and because they feel that they know so much, they just resign, and they want to stand on their own. You see, if a child that is like maybe 2 years old, that because he now feels that he's running within the house, a 3-year-old, child, he feels that his legs are strong enough now, he's moving around the sitting room, and you want to go and help them to join relay race. You will not only lose, you won't complete it. Because you have not understood what it means to start and to finish. You don't even understand where the finish line is. And that is the problem for a lot of people. So they get lost in the process. And because they have not done the first thing first, they are lost in the process. To make the second attempt becomes more difficult because they begin to see themselves as failures, or the people who could have assisted them begin to see them as failures. This period, you cannot afford to waste any of. Better says, which of you is intending to build a tower and will not first of all sit down and count the cost? The journey now is not as usual. So you need to be decisive, take practical steps. It starts with faith, don't forget. Then after you have built faith in yourself and in the process, in the dream, then you begin to take practical steps. And taking practical steps, you are taking one step at a time. Taking practical steps and say, oh, they said it's a quantum leap. It's from the first, and it's like, oh, it's a quantum step. I want to start from 50. In the first instance, you may not be as tall as to put your leg on the 50th step. So you stay there frustrated, sweating, blaming everybody around you. But you refuse to blame yourself and forgetting that this thing is one step at a time. One step at a time. One step at a time. So please, it's important. Don't just rush into things. Everybody wants to matter. Fine, we will all matter. But take that step one at a time. Somebody asked me, so what if in the process I lose the vision or I lose the strength to continue? That means in the first instance, you never believed. That means in the first instance, you never had, you have not, somebody told me, very recently, I was asking about my opinion. A guy was asking her out and seeking for her hand in marriage. And at a point, she said she was not ready for marriage, that they should just be friends. So after some months, she decided, okay, let's go ahead with the marriage. You know what the guy said to her? That no, at this time, say, I'm not interested again. I don't think. So, and she was like, okay, so what do? I said, you better thank God that you have not even gone into it. Right? Because this person from the first instance, the strength is low. I'm not sure whether it was that, whether it was that crazy about you. Let me use that word. Otherwise, so how many months does it take now to disinfect or to deflate the love? How many months? So with that kind of person, you think he will now love you for 15 years of marriage, for 80, because you don't even know the end of the marriage. So just for a few months, he now discovered that he does not have strength to carry on. And that's the way it is with a lot of people. When you don't have enough faith, that can happen. When you don't have enough belief in the process, that can happen. See, but if you do, take the step at a time. You know, because of what you are aiming at, you will take that step one after the other with joy. The Bible says about Jesus, said for the joy that was set before him, he endured the cross. He despised the shame. So when everybody were throwing out their, whatever, saying all manner, you have devil, you have this, he was not looking at them. He was after the end result. It was not after what they were saying. It was not after what he wanted. And because of that, God highly exalted him. He gave him a name that's above every other name. That was what he wanted. So, and he was taking his step one after the other. It took him, years to walk through the process on earth. So why didn't he say, I want to complete this process fast? God, you have brought me into this world. Let everything end within 1 week. He won't be the savior of the world. So let's plan our whatever, our actions and activities, and practically begin to take one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. Before you know what is happening, it is the other people that will tell you that you are now rising. You yourself may not even know. Because somebody who is climbing ladder with concentration, you may not know how far you have gone. You may not know how high you have gone, except you are looking at the back. It's the people on the floor that will say, oh, look at him at the top. That's why so many people that are great is other people who tells them that this is a great man. And the man will wonder, other person. See, but all those people who are great like that, they have not reached any height. They are just talking. They are climbing one step and looking at the back. And because they look at the back, they saw that they're a little bit ahead of others. Then they begin to make noise. So let's take that steps and keep, And another thing I want to say, just because of our time, you see, as you take steps, you begin to rise. See, but the problem with the rising is that the higher you go, the more difficult for you to have sincere opinion of others about yourself. We are talking about faith for quantum leap. The higher you go on the ladder of success, the more difficult it is for you to have sincere opinion of others about yourself. Everybody will tell you what they think you want to hear. And at that point, that's where you need the faith that you started with. That's where you need the relationship that you have with God that you started with. That's because everybody sing your praise, including when you are misbehaving. Everybody will sing your praise. The higher you go, the more they sing your praise. And the way you go wrong, the more wrong you do, the more praise they will begin to sing. I thought about it. Maybe if Solomon had somebody that will tell him, sincere opinion about himself. Maybe he will not have gone that worse for him because he started so well in faith. Excellent man, communing with God like a prophet, even though he was a king. He communed with God to the point that God gave him what he didn't give any other person. Too much wisdom. Blessed by God. If you read your Bible and you see the influence, the power that Solomon had, but he had nobody telling him sincerely where he was going wrong. I say it, the greatest asset that God can give any great man is somebody who will tell him the truth about himself. That's if God will bless you and you will keep rising, if you will maintain it, He will need to give you somebody that will tell you the truth. That Mr. President, you are misbehaving. You didn't start this way. How come you started telling lies? This business that you started in faith, no, you didn't start it by giving bribes. You started it in faith. You need those people. And see where those people are not available because they are very few. Man will proclaim his own goodness, but a faithful man who can find. That's what the Bible says. Is it because to find such men that will tell you to your face that no, you have a vision for a great ministry as a pastor? You need God to give you somebody who will tell you, Pastor, this vision that you shared with us in the beginning, you didn't put all this one there. Now the church is very big. But this one that you have introduced, why don't you think or pray more about it? You need such people. See, but where such people are not available, that's where you need the faith that you started from. That's where you need the Holy Spirit. That's where you need the Holy Spirit. You wonder why many leaders are misbehaving. It's because there is nobody around them that can tell them the truth. And there is no room for the Holy Spirit because they are too busy. Even those who started with the Holy Spirit, they are too busy. So there is no moment of checks. Nobody. Solomon was marrying wives like that. Nobody. When they saw him with goddess and different gods, nobody could say, King, may you live forever. You know, when you did this the other time and God made this promise with you, He's the God of your father that you serve. Where did you come about all these ones? Every one of those girls, both the one they married and the concubine, they came with different gods to his life. And he built strife for all of them. So he began to attend meetings that he should not have attended. And that's the problem with so many people. You are doing fine. God accepts you. You started the company in faith and you are moving. Now, you too started attending some social functions that you should not have attended. So they told you that, no, if you have to continue in this business, you have to know these people, you have to belong to this club, you have to belong to that one. So you to get to the club, they serve every other person green bottle. You said you wanted Maltina. They allow you one day, they allowed you the second day. The third time, they will put some in your own. No, it's not that bad. And you start. I used to have a friend. One day, I saw him somewhere, and I saw what he was drinking. I think he's not more than maybe 20% or 25% alcohol. But since that day, I knew he has lost it. So as you rise, you need people that will tell you the truth. You need the Holy Spirit. You see, the Holy Spirit is the only person who will speak to you without hiding feelings. Other people, even if they want to say it, they will be too cautious because they don't want to lose the favor that they have in your presence. And I think that was what happened to Solomon. So all the people that are in the palace, they say, yeah, king, you are doing well. You can marry more. Are you not king? It belongs to you. This is just 100 that you have married. Marry more. You are the king. After God is you. They were planning his downfall, and he didn't know. And it's the same thing that happens with people as they rise these days. So they introduce you to clubs. Before you know it, you are in court, and you cannot come out. They introduce you to meetings. Before you know it, after the meeting, they share guests for others. You say you don't want anybody. Before you know what is happening, they force somebody there in your room. Say, don't worry. She will just, because she doesn't have any other place to sleep this night. If you don't want to do anything with her, just put her there. Let her just be in the same room with you. So be careful. As you rise in the ladder of success, be careful. I would say one thing with this quantum leap we're talking about. I love the flyer, the e-flyer that Reverend Tunji made, faith and quantum leap. See, but when I looked at that leap stuff, and I was like, oh, that's a giant move. Good. You see, the speed of a bicycle, different from the speed of a motorcycle, different from the speed of a car, and is different from the speed of aircraft. Now, the greater the speed, the more fatal the accident. Somebody had accident on motorcycle, on bike, normal bike. It may not be so much serious, but they say is motorcycle accident. That's a step higher. If they say car wreck, oh, that's serious. If they say crash, oh, that's heavy. Be mindful, because the higher you go, the more they fall. The higher the speed, the more they fall. That's why you need God in your life all the time. Because you will get there if you keep believing and keep working at it. See, but getting there is not as important as sustaining it. People that are the millionaires are not millionaires because they made million one day. They are millionaires because they stayed making millions. So it's important that you give God place in your heart. Well, because as I take those steps, that's why sometimes people who fall from a height is not deliberate. It's pressure of the up. So are you well prepared for that pressure? And I looked at it, both in life and in ministry, it's the same. Both in life and in ministry is the same. The pressure of the whole. And when it pulls you down, the fall is great. I believe by the grace of God, that is our season of the leap, the quantum leap. However, do you have faith enough for it? Have you built enough capacity so that you won't get to a point and you see that you cannot continue again? Then, are you ready to take practical steps, one after the other? Are you ready to learn the process? Are you ready to submit to the demand of that learning? If you want to see a great pastor, go and look for a great superior pastor. That's how to be a great person. If you want to be a great businessman, look for another great businessman that you can look at and that will guide you through the process. But see, to submit to that process is a lot. It's a journey. Are you ready to take practical steps? Are you ready to learn enough before you launch out? Because if you launch out and you have not learned enough, you can sink. Somebody who has trusted you to give you a contract of 30 million and you mess the thing up, he will never try you with 10 million contract. But if your capacity is 10 million and he gives you the job of 10 million or lower and you did it so well, he will believe that, oh, that person is a good guy. He knows his job. And he can throw the job of 50 million at you just because it was your size that you handled first. Success is sweet, so a lot of people want to be gullible. But be careful what you want to bite. So that it does not choke you. Otherwise, you are given one single opportunity, you messed it up because you have not learned the process, then nobody will want to try you again. It will take God for other people to give you a chance. And I haven't done that. As you keep learning as well, be careful. Because the higher you go, the greater the fall. And the higher you go, the more difficult for anybody to give a true, sincere opinion of who you are. They will keep lying to you. Nobody will tell you are a bad person. Nobody. When you are a great man. Because they need your support. They need your favor. They need your assistance. So even when you are doing nonsense, that's why for most great men, every nonsense they do is considered a style. Every nonsense is considered a style. Right? Because the people around them does not want to address the truth. They don't want to face the truth because they need your favor. So it will take God to speak to you such moment, to let you know that no. This is not you. This is not you. Before you became a member of the House of Assembly, oh no, this is not you. You were praying before now. You used to take care of people. You are a people person. Now, everything is about stealing money. No. You are not a thief. It will take God to tell you that. So, because of our time, please, I don't know. I think I'm shooting ahead of the time because of the question and answer.
Wow. Thank you.
Pastor Tunji.
Yeah, thank you so much. Some very profound statements there. You know, I never saw it from that perspective before, that the higher you go, the less you get people that will tell you the truth. You know, but as you were saying it, I can relate to it, especially because we're in a very hypocritical environment where people don't want to really say the truth. They want to dodge the realities of even the challenges you have as a person. You know, thank you so much for bringing that light on the table. Okay, so if you have questions, can you please type your questions in the comment section? I have one or two questions for him. So admin, please, I hope the comment section is open. Okay, so that people can type in the question. So Pastor Bello, my first question for you is this. I've seen how, let me put it this way, I've seen a high sense of responsibility in you. I've seen how you are very committed to whatever you put your mind to. I've seen how you have taken very unconventional decisions in the midst of, several other voices trying to contend for it. What is responsible for? I want you to tell us three things that you can say is responsible for some of these notable achievements that you have that make you stand out as a person. And I know you're a frank person. You confront issues when you need to do it. What made you stand out, from the pack in the things that you have done?
Okay. Well, I think the first thing is I don't get involved in something I don't believe in.
Mm. Mm.
Very, if I'm not into, if I don't believe in from the beginning, you can tell. Except the person has not known for long. If we have known for long, if we have 1 hour conversation, 1 hour is even too much. You will know whether I'm interested in it or not. And if you ask me, I will tell you the truth. Now, however, saying that does not mean that I insist on what I believe. For example, now, if you are, for those of us who work in corporate environments, and maybe you are part of those who make decisions there and all that. You see, I say that corporate position supersedes personal opinion. So,
say it again, sir.
The corporate position supersedes personal opinion. So, if I know that something I don't believe in it, and it's a corporate thing, and maybe every other person said yes, and your own position is no. No, that does not mean that I will say yes because you all say yes. I will say no because of social reason. However, because every other person is supporting it, let's go ahead. Now, because we should understand where we should understand our levels per time. So if you are a corporate person, you need to be watchful of that. But if it's something that has to do with you alone, you can say yes, absolutely, or no, absolutely. So the first thing, I don't put my mind or my effort in anything I don't believe in. That's the first thing. Then when I believe in it, then I you see, a lot of times I don't even know what I want to do, but it might be just minutes to that time. I will just hear something. Now, why don't you do it this way? So that inner strength gives me more. It adds to natural strength for me to continue. So even though I have interest or whatever, if I'm still feeling somehow, and have a drag in my spirit, that drag will affect that thing until the drag is over. But when I know that there is no issue, then I can go all out. So I think it's important that we learn to put that balance, the natural self and the inner strength, because we are just there are few people in this world that are just absolutely natural. You see,
wow,
most people are spiritual. Very, very few individuals are natural. Absolutely no. It is difficult to even find them. Something influences somebody inside. You see, but sometimes most Christians just feel that no problem. Let's go. He's pursuing that trade, but inside him, he's having a no. But he has heard that every other person has made money from it, so he continues. Meanwhile, the other person who is not a church person has gone somewhere. They have told him, no, your destiny can work with it, is good. They have said, no, your own cannot work with it. Don't put your hand there, you will lose money. But he just faced the thing blindly. So it's important for that, the inner thing to be there. You can't, there are so many things that you cannot do and continue for a long time if the inner strength is not there. There are so many things you cannot continue. You will fail at a point. I've told people severally, to be a moralist is not a substitute for salvation. To be a moralist is not a substitute. Because the day you realize to be a moralist is not a substitute for salvation. Because the day the nature of man inside you will rise up, there won't be Holy Spirit there to calm you down. And that's why so many natural great men misbehave. So to be a moralist is not a substitute. It's not enough. It's not enough.
Wow. Thank you, sir. My last question before I take other people is, I know you deal with different people and they have hurt you. How do you handle forgiveness when people do things below the standard that you expect?
Yeah, incidentally, forgiveness as it's just one thing, 1 minute. Because if you say you forgive and you are still annoyed with the person, you have not forgiven. I think what is important is that you need to know that your own life is more important than the life of the person who offended you. Your own progress, your own life is more important than the life of the person who offended you. You want to hold to that person, knowing that is really losing. You are the one losing. I've had somebody who told a lie to my face before. And I looked at him, it was as if, am I dreaming? For somebody to steal and say you sent him to steal, isn't that amazing? And you are looking at the person. So, things like that. So we should just know that, it will happen. You have people that will do a lot, here and there. But if you don't leave them and move on, you will just stay on the same point and be dragging load that is not meant for you. The person still a good person, will still, talk and all that. Is still, I've forgiven about that. I've forgotten about it many years ago. We still together. But I'm sure each time he remember, he too will know that he did something. So, it's natural for offenses to come. It's natural. But I think somebody should make it natural too for you to forgive them. Even if you don't want to look at that side, in this present world that we live in, how many people do you want to fight? How many people do you want to hold grudges against? If you want to continue with that. So the best thing is just to move on and just know that the person who did that, he himself knows that he did something. But for your own safety, just move on. However, that does not mean that somebody should be stupid. If you do something the first time against me, is not my fault, because I didn't know that the person would be that bad. But the second time will be my fault. So you do something and you offended me today on certain things, and I feel like, oh, okay, I forgive you. Don't do. But if I give you opportunity to do that second time, it's my fault. Somebody stole your money. He went and came and for forgiveness and all that. You forgave him. So is that same person that you now gave your ATM pin? Then whatever he now does from that point is your own fault. So that's what I believe. Forgiveness is critical for any Christian. It's critical and it's key. See, but don't live carelessly. Don't be stupid. Because there are some people who takes advantage of you too, because they know he will always forgive. They slap you today. They came for forgiveness. You forgive them. They will come tomorrow again, give you another slap, and because they believe that he will forgive. He's a Christian. He will forgive. It's you that will make up your mind not to be stupid. So you don't put your face where they will slap it. Thank you, Pastor Tunji. Oh.
Thank you so much, Reverend Yomi Bello. God bless you really good for such a wonderful
Thank you, sir.
book tonight, sir. Sir, let me ask this question. What has been your anchor so far? Seeing people that has offended you, yet you are still in the same organization or the same environment with them. What has been your sustaining power? That even when you are still with them, you have no grudge against them, and you still believe in them that they can still do better. I don't know how to say it, sir. So what has been your sustaining power, sir?
Some people, the issue is it to do with individual. There are some people that truly they offended you, but they did not even know. They are living their life. They didn't even know that they offended you. You are the one that is offended. They are not even aware. So, that's a class of people. You should give people too a benefit of the doubt. At least let people have. Otherwise, you see, if you can't be a people person, if you will pick at everything that somebody said, if you will react to every statement, you can't be a people person. Now, because the bad person today can be your greatest ally tomorrow. He could have done it when he did not know. He could have done it out of ignorance. But the day that that we pay for you, if you have fought him, you won't know. Live. When I've heard someone say that if you want to pass a door, but if you want to close a door, close it gently. Because if you slam it, you don't know whether you will pass through the same door. I've seen people that they are nobody today, but they are somebody tomorrow, or they know somebody that you dearly need. So if everything is a life of offense, where do you want to start from? Is it from sorry for yesterday? On the main thing you want to do. So it's just, it's important that to give people, opportunity to misbehave sometimes. There are some individuals that is their nature. I'm not talking about those ones. But there are some that is not their nature. Maybe something happened. Maybe the day you met the person, maybe something happened at home and it was not just coordinated for that day. And you felt offended. You felt offended. He said something he should not have said. He didn't even look at you. It may just be for that moment. So we should give people opportunity to misbehave. And one great attribute of a good leader too is that even though you know certain things about some people, you don't make it loud. You don't raise their negative side.
Very true.
Somebody who is already offended and you are abusing him, we get more offended.
Wow.
Is everybody, wherever you belong, once you have 3-4 people and all that, there'll be a lot of politics. Some will say so many things at your back that in their lifetime, they cannot say it in your presence. But this is not everything that you hear that you want to respond to. I've heard so much. I hear a lot. See, but it's better to keep quiet. Because, the person that is telling you about another person too, you never can tell. So why don't you draw your own personal conclusion based on your experience, not another person's experience? You find out some people enter into an organization for the first time, they tell them, see, that person is a bad person, don't work with him. They are telling you their own experience about that person and they won't tell you what they did. So it's better you form your own opinion based on your own personal experience.
Wow.
So I don't know whether I've answered your question.
Oh yes. I mean, I feel you have. So Pastor David, is that question answered?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. God bless you. Really good, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good. Do we have any other questions so that we can bring this to a close? Any other question? Okay. All right. In the absence of that, once again, Pastor Bill, we want to say a big thank you for sharing with us profound wisdom tonight. We pray that the Lord will bless you. And we believe that in the nearest future, we will call on you again to come and share with us again on the mentoring group. We send our very warm regards to the family, and we truly, from the mentoring group, we make a commitment that the things that you have taught us tonight, we will take action steps to do the required. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We look forward to seeing you again next week, Saturday. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate. God bless
Most welcome.
everyone. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.